Welcome back to week 6. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. Had a great conversation before the recording. Ready to jump in to whatever we've cooked up for this week's videos.
Excellent.
Feeling
I'm
great.
I'm very excited to learn about LCD and LED displays and what the future of that looks like. For the viewers who don't know, this week we gave each other a prompt to talk about whatever subject we deemed was cool. We talked to the camera for about 3 minutes in one take. I gave Sebastian the prompt of talking about LED versus LCD displays and what the future of that technology looks like. And Sebs gave me the prompt of talking about what would happen if a giant meteor was coming to Earth. What sort of things can we do to prevent that? So last week we viewed Sebastian's video first. So this week we're going to view mine first. And yeah, we had some trouble getting these videos to play, but they're uploaded on YouTube now. So we're just going to go right to YouTube. I'll share my screen.
Yalla.
Okay. And we are sharing.
If a giant meteor was heading straight for Earth, bound to destroy humanity.
Is that double playing the audio for you?
No, I've heard it fine.
Okay. It was playing double for me, so I'll what do I do? I guess I'll just mute my computer. Yeah, I'll do that, and then you let me know if go like this if it's not playing for you. Okay.
If a giant meteor was heading straight for Earth, bound to destroy humanity, what would we do? So first we got to ask ourselves two questions. How big is it and how far away from Earth is it? So there's about 30,000 near-Earth objects, what we call them, meteors around Earth, the majority of which are about a foot in diameter. So these will never make it through the Earth's atmosphere. They burn up before they even hit the ground. But sometimes larger meteors come around, sometimes the size of football fields. These come around every 2,000 years. So when they smash into Earth, the effect is devastating. It can destroy entire cities, but they're still localized. So if a meteor strikes Boston, the effects might not necessarily be felt in, let's say, California or even New York. But once every few million years, a giant asteroid comes in, the size of mountains. It's been calculated that an asteroid 95 kilometers or in diameter or wider is enough to totally sterilize the planet. And these meteors or meteorites are scary. So if they hit the ocean, they're creating tsunamis with waves thousands of feet tall. If they hit the land, they're creating fireballs 5,000 kilometers in diameter, totally vaporizing 10% of the Earth's surface area. Very, very scary stuff. They throw up tons and tons of dust, creating a solar winter. The sun is not able to penetrate all the dust in the atmosphere, so the Earth goes cold. This is how the dinosaurs died. So if we find out that a meteor is coming towards us, what do we do? Well, there's a few different things that we can do, one of which has actually been tested. Back in 2020, NASA launched a project called DART. This is the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, where they effectively redirected an asteroid using spacecrafts. Yippee, sounds awesome. But this was a smaller asteroid, so we don't know what would work, or if it would work, with a giant asteroid. So there's a few other methods. None of these have been tested. Some proposals of just launching nukes at it, seeing if just blowing it up will work. Or maybe it'll redirect the path. Lasers, shooting lasers at it, which will, I guess, nudge it off path. It seems that the consensus is to nudge it off path instead of just totally destroying it. Other theories or other theoretical methods include attaching thrusters or spacecrafts to the asteroid and pushing it off path. Another one, painting the asteroid so that solar radiation will slowly nudge the asteroid off path. Again, none of these have been tested, so only time will tell. But if we had years to prepare for this, I presume that geopolitics would be put aside and governments would come together and put their funding together to create effective projects to properly divert the threat. I guess only time will tell. But yeah, that has been today's episode. Peace out.
All right. So did it play properly for you?
Bro, the best it ever played. No lagging. Yeah,
Excellent.
excellent
Really, you
content.
liked it?
Excellent, excellent. That's your best video yet, for sure, hands down, for real. It's you've got some. There was even some sort of journalistic gesticulation, changing tone of voice, mainly looking at the camera. Nice frame. Very interesting facts as well. Uh, Everything just real nice work,
Thank you, man.
in my
It
opinion.
was
Yeah.
honestly, dude. My research was Chat GPT, or it was Google Gemini, and then like maybe like 3 or 4 different YouTube videos.
Uh-huh.
That was it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, Super nice, actually. Yeah, you can. I think you have you recorded some videos like that in front of the camera for Nate's and Nelly,
Um, like sort of actually. So
or nothing to.
I had to record a video for some students. I was a guest speaker for a class, and they're doing their final project on Nate's Natty. And I basically needed to make a video talking about, um, why the sort of work that they're doing is important, kind of what the purpose of the assignment is, and basically being like, thanks so much for working on the project. Super excited about it. Um, and I had to get comfortable, kind of like talking on the fly. So I think that definitely prepared me a little bit. And also, I've been taking a, or I took this previous semester a public speaking class. And so this sort of thing was actually very similar to what we do in class. We'll get a prompt and we'll have a minute to prepare, and then we need to go up and talk for 3 minutes about it. So this was like pretty identical to things that I was doing in class, except I had more time to prepare. So I guess the turnout was a lot better.
Is the class was obligatory? It was a part of your course, the public speaking class?
Yeah, it was an elective, so I decided to take the class because I thought it was interesting. But
God damn, I would love that. I would love something like that.
yeah, it was a pretty
Oh,
baller class.
yeah, for sure. Super useful as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think let's jump into to my video.
Let's go.
So
All right.
why not?
Let's share the entire screen. Do the audio output. We'll do this. Do that.
An old man's advice.
All right. Ready, Freddy?
31 minutes.
Welcome to the screen video. When people talk about screens, they usually mention LED or LCD, as if they are something completely different, and that's in fact not true. They are quite closely related, and understanding the difference between those two screen types may help us understand where the future of screens is going. The LCD stands for liquid crystal display. The liquid crystals do not create light, they just control how much of it passes through. So every LCD screen needs a source of light behind it. In the older versions, it was a fluorescent lamp, which was responsible for providing light. In the newer screens, those are the LEDs, the light emitting diodes, which create light. That's where the name LED comes from. The LED technology allows for more energy efficient and thinner screens. However, it has problems of its own, namely the fact that if the light emitting diodes are responsible for providing light, they can never truly turn themselves off. So the parts of the screen that should be truly black are never really that. They are more like super dark grays. The engineers tried dimming the lights However, the solution came in the form of OLED technology, which is composed of separate pixels, each of which, that's a nice rhyme, can completely turn itself off. And the effect is that the OLED screens provide for better contrast and true blacks. The extension of that would be the micro LED technology, which is even more energy efficient, brighter, and all around better. Screens are more and more becoming a part of our daily existence. Their attendance, appearance is not only limited to phones and TVs, they are being integrated into augmented reality glasses, the foldable devices, cars, and the objects of everyday use. So, to sum up, the future of screens is going in the direction of them being more and more integrated with the reality itself.
I thought that was chill. I thought that was a chill video. Yeah.
Chill.
The-
What do
I
what do
thought it
you mean
was
by
casual.
that?
I mean, you could tell you were just talking to the camera. I thought it was good. And you also touched on OLED and AMOLED or AMOLED. I don't know. What does the O stand for? Do you know?
Micro LED.
Yeah, but what is the O?
Yeah, no idea. No idea.
Optical,
OLED
maybe.
does it mean?
OLED.
Organic light emitting diode.
Organic. What's organic about it?
Display technology where each pixel creates its own light from organic materials, unlike LCDs, allowing for thinner screens, perfect blacks. Yeah, in terms of the
In terms of content, you hit it.
science behind it, I'm quite on the spot.
Hell yeah.
You
I know.
know?
I thought that was a very good video. I enjoyed that,
Mm.
and I learned.
Oh yeah,
all about.
oh yeah, yeah. Probably the subject was kind of tough. Not my cup of tea. Totally. But that was what the challenge was about. So that's. However, you displayed way more emotions and I know realness. I'm kind of stale. You are more animated, and that's like really important. Or maybe that's my personal preference. I would like to be more sort of alive on those videos because I feel like I'm fucking reciting something. And in terms of the merit, in terms of like the science behind it and all that, I think I've done a pretty good job. But in terms of the delivery,
Mhm.
something to work on. Something to work on.
Did you have like a pre-written, not script, but like the direction of where the video is going, like chunk one,
Yes.
chunk two, chunk three?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do. Like I'll chunk it out, and it allows me to kind of talk more freely and more enthusiastically about whatever like small topic is at hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I try and divide it into like points and remember the points and expand upon the certain points. However, yeah, it was chill, as you said.
It was chill.
It was chill. Yeah. Can I pushing the meteorite of its path using spaceships?
Yeah.
And it happened.
And it happened. I don't know
Really?
how big it was. I just like saw it in a YouTube video, and I also like Google Gemini was talking about it. It didn't really give any specifics, but I mean, it's doable. It's doable, which I think
Bro,
is
imagine that. Imagine that someone's job is to create a system or program the system which is responsible for making the ship push the meteorite or the asteroid off its path for it not to hit Earth. Like, imagine that guy going home after work. What have you done today? Yeah, I pushed the meteor off its path using this.
yeah.
What the hell? People are
It's
doing
like pure
such
science
insane
fiction.
things.
Yeah,
Science fiction to the max.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
nice.
thought the really interesting one was the idea of painting the meteor so that solar radiation would like either like reflect off of it or absorb into it. I don't know exactly how it works, but the solar radiation is like a force in space and it like moves things around. Um, so I thought that was kind of cool. That what a feat that would be to paint an entire meteorite. You know, the amount of paint you
Yeah.
need to get into outer space.
Paint a meteor. Oh, that's fucking hell. Yeah, and there was an option of nukes always on the table
Always.
when it comes to humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always have the nuclear option.
Yeah, dude.
We always have the like a little escalation as
Humans are so
as an ace
involved.
up our sleeve.
Yeah, well, they're just like it's such interesting technology because it's like the most devastating thing that we could come up with. You know, it's like the ultimate. So it makes sense that, you know, we would throw our ultimate weapon at like the ultimate threat.
Oh yeah, meeting the yeah. What's the Newton's law? Equal and opposite reaction. Okay,
Exactly.
here we go. Nuke that bitch.
Yeah, dude. I wonder how much force would be generated from a nuke on a meteor. Like, do you think that sort of force would outweigh the force of like a, I don't know, like what they did with DART with the spacecrafts like pushing the thing off orbit? Or do you think it's just like a less controlled version of that?
Mm, I've got no idea, but a wild guess it would be that an asteroid that meets a nuke would generate a force. Uh, yeah, insane force. I don't even have words to describe that. I don't know what the fuck would happen there. However, the nuke conversation is interesting because I've heard Elon talking about heating up Mars and
Mhm.
what he would do to heat up Mars. He said that he would nuke the poles, the
Yeah.
north and south pole of Mars. Well, I've got no idea how that works, but here we have another use of the nukes in a positive direction. We've got so many options with the nukes.
Yeah, dude, nuclear technology and energy is like really cool. It's a shame that we can't figure out what is it, fission or fusion, the one that we can't figure out. I think it's fusion.
Fusion.
Yeah.
There are a couple of fusions that we figured out, but I don't know if the nuclear one is the one that you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, above my pay grade.
Yeah. I know that Lockheed Martin, their Skunk Works division, was actually working on, I think it was a fusion reactor. And the project ended up getting shut down. But I mean, there are organizations that are working on it. And honestly, dude, like fusion, it tying back into the conversation that we had before the recording, in terms of like unlimited money project that we'd work on if we had the funds. Dude, fusion would be sick. Imagine you figure that out to save humanity. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have you heard about anything about? I've seen a video of a cancer vaccine being developed at UC Mass, which is your university.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about it?
I heard about this, yeah. I heard about it like a month or two ago. I saw that
Yeah, me too.
they
Probably a month.
developed a vaccine for cancer. I'm not sure where the, I guess, where it is basically in the line of being released to the public. But I mean, it's cool, but I feel like you hear a lot of interesting things, like a lot of medical breakthroughs in the news, and then nothing ever really comes of it. So I'm not sure if Big Pharma got their hands on this one.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to check if that's something that I've only seen, or
It's
I mean,
interesting
you
that,
can be proud of your uni. There is
yeah,
nothing like that happening at my university. I can tell you that. Nice work, boys and girls.
yeah, it's
Was it boys or was it girls?
I don't know, but what's interesting is that no one on campus really knew about it. Like I remember I was out to dinner with some of my friends and I saw this news article and I brought it up to them because my mom sent it in like the group chat with the family. And I showed them, I looked it up to see if it was true and it was. And I showed them, they're like, oh, cool. Like they didn't know. And then I told a few other people and they're like, oh, I didn't hear about that. It's like, really? You have no, like we all go to UMass and you have no idea? Crazy. People are so tapped out of the cool things. I mean, everyone's concerned with I don't even
Yeah,
know their own lives.
yeah. And people will go to their home and watch 3 hours of TikTok without knowing what happened at their university.
Yeah.
Well, that's boomer talk. Whatever, but kind of true as well. Like to some extent, that is the case, because they probably will hear about the terrorist attack from today.
Mhm.
You can
Yeah,
be
and
quite sure about
the
that.
shooting at Brown University yesterday. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, there
Too
was
many
a
of those.
yeah,
Hard
seriously.
to keep up.
It's a tragedy. I mean, I don't even what's interesting? Trump said, the most we could do is like pray or something like that. Or the most we could basically, the answer is thoughts and prayers, which that's bullshit. I don't know what the answer is, but thoughts and prayers aren't gonna solve that sort of thing.
Too many people in his base are pro. Is it Second Amendment?
Yeah, the
Your
Second Amendment.
Constitution? Yeah, pro Second Amendment. He cannot tell anything about restricting gun laws or anything like that, because his ratings would probably get hit after that. So he can only
I was
say
considering that.
bullshit
And
like that.
I feel like Trump has gone back on a lot of the things that he's said, and he still has a very strong base. I mean, a lot of conservatives are starting to turn against him a little bit, but the Trumpies are still going to be Trumpies. So I think that he probably could recommend, or he could, I guess, fight for restrictions on the Second Amendment, and people would still continue to support him. But I'm not sure if I think that's the way. I think that the Second Amendment is very important to the prosperity of the American people and democracy. And I think that any government that's trying to make their population harmless is probably doesn't have the population's best interest. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure. But I do think that the Second Amendment is important to Americans. I don't know where you stand on that.
Didn't really expect that from you, to be honest.
Why's that?
I mean, I haven't really heard anyone argue for the gun laws in my life, to be honest. Maybe because I'm European, and here we are way stricter on that than you guys over there across the ocean. In terms of where I stand on that, man, that's not something on my mind.
Yeah.
I don't really have a coherent view on that. Probably the way it is in Poland is fucking fine for me.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of changing anything in that regard.
No, I get you.
Expand on that. Can what you've mentioned that any government that's trying to make its people harmless probably doesn't have their interest in mind, their best interest in mind. That's an interesting position to take. Where does that come
So you look at what happened with, why America formed in the first place, and the British were like being, tyrannical to the colonies. And one of the first things they did when they started imposing all these taxes, they tried to disarm the colonies, basically make them helpless so that they couldn't defend themselves against the tyrannical, I guess, English government. And that's why the Second Amendment is number 2 after freedom of speech and freedom of press and religion and all that stuff. It's because in order to have the First Amendment, you need to be able to defend it. And I think that's where the Second Amendment comes in. Although, I mean, it is a double-edged sword. America is the only place in the world with such high levels of gun violence, but a lot of that doesn't stem from mass shootings, although that's what you hear in the news. A lot of it comes from gang violence. So you could cut, I'm not sure what the percentage is, but you could cut the majority of gun violence out if you disregarded the the gang affiliated violence, and then you'd be left with a very small percentage of mass shootings, which are still awful nonetheless. Don't get it twisted, but the statistics would drastically reduce. So I'm not exactly sure what needs to be done about it. And maybe the real answer is gun restriction. I don't know, but I'm not sure if anyone really knows. But I do know that being able to defend yourself and your values is important to me.
You got a gun? You can shoot?
I do not. Have you
got any training?
Yeah. I took an LTC class license. Yeah, LTC license to carry class a while ago, and didn't end up getting a gun. But my lease actually says that I can't own a gun on the premise, nor would I really want to right now. That's kind of an expense that I don't want to make right now. But I think in the future I will. I think it's important for women especially to own guns because it's the ultimate, I guess, equalizer. It levels the playing field between men and women. And a lot of women
tips the scale in favor of women.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so many
Yeah.
people or so many women live in fear. Like they're scared to walk to their cars, like leaving the gym or their workplace or whatever. Like I told my sister, I was like, because my sister works with inmates, and she was concerned about, I don't know, like privacy or whatever it was. I don't exactly know, but I told her, I was like, you should get a gun. It just seems like a no-brainer to me.
American way of solving things.
Yeah, I mean,
Get a gun, sis.
there's a reason why rappers sometimes refer to guns as tools. Like I got that tool on me. It's because they fix problems. Maybe they start problems too.
Rappers. If you want to defend the Second Amendment, maybe do not bring.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't a good analogy.
Maybe as tools. God damn, those guys. Not the best way. Yeah, I got kind of. So I would say I'd probably lean more towards the being like pro Second Amendment and all that. However, the murder of Charlie Kirk kind of influenced my outlook on that. I don't know if you probably heard him saying on some conference that some gun deaths are a cost, are a just cost or something like that of having the Second Amendment, and I guess it's all a cost that you can bear up until the point when you become this cost that you've referred to.
Yeah.
And this whole it's pretty twisted with Charlie, him being such an adamant advocate for the Second Amendment, and then falling victim to a gunshot. So yeah, it probably influenced me in some way, but that's an open question, as you mentioned, like an open case. You can argue either way, pretty much. We don't have an objective answer for that, as with many things.
Yeah.
But this one for sure.
I mean, it ties into the idea of, like, what is it? Peace through mutually assured destruction. Like, or maybe it's peace through strength is the one I'm trying to get at. Like the U.S., for example, has the strongest military in the world, and we try to, or I don't exactly know, but what the idea is to the American people is that the U.S. government tries to project peace and democracy through that strength around the world, which, if that's truly if that's truly what's going on, I think that's a good thing. And that said, I think that if more people are aware that their existence could end if they, act froggy with someone, then maybe people would be less inclined to, rape, steal, and kill. But then we're kind of getting into weird territory, which is like, should people live in fear? They shouldn't. But again, I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, get it. Totally get it. Yeah, I would have to think about it. Maybe read something on that to freaking more informed, because I'm kind of just not prepared on this
Yeah.
on this front, probably.
No, I get you. It's like not in your sphere, so it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. The cultural differences showing here.
Yeah, I used to be like not a gun nut, but I used to like be a huge supporter of the Second Amendment. But I had an immature mindset in that things were very binary to me. It was either one way or the other. The older I get, the more I realize the world is a lot more gray than black and white. So
That's how it's supposed to work.
yeah, exactly.
Different spheres. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
However,
I don't.
ignorance is bliss. Also, I don't know if it is when it comes to guns, because that's a pretty tricky one. Although, yeah, I would probably have to look for another freaking 2 hours to get it where it's worth to distinguish between those shades of gray that you referred to, and where it's best to just put your head down, choose a side, and fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I'm referring to, what I'm getting at.
No, I get you.
But that's too deep of a subject. Yeah, I think we can go towards the end here.
Yeah, we'll probably wrap it up. It's what?
Yeah, wrap it
you
up.
right
Oh yes. Wrap it up is what I was looking for.
All right, excellent. Well, that concludes week 6. We broke into some conversation I didn't expect to have, and I think that's a great thing. That's what these podcasts are for. Anything else you'd like to add before the recording ends?
Exactly. No, real nice flowing conversation today. I think real nice. Off camera, on camera, they are both just pretty flowing, and it lasted for like 1.5 hours. I don't know where it
Yeah.
went. So that's a real good thing. I think it flowed super smoothly today, so I'm really glad about that, and totally support your claim of being content with not knowing where the conversation is going to lead. Just going with the flow. So yeah, I'm all for it as well.
Excellent. Yeah, the more we do, the more we get better at this. So I'm glad that we're doing this.
Absolutely. Yeah. See you guys in the next one.
Peace out, viewers. Catch you guys
Peace
later.
out. Yeah.